JD Dotson has been a frequent guest on Great Day Live. He, his husband, and his sister all own Regalo, which is based over on South 4th Street in downtown Louisville, and they have a location also in New Albany. And this past weekend, they were the target of looting that happened downtown. First, JD, set up what that scene was like. You live downtown. You and your husband decided you were going to walk to your store to essentially defend it.
Right. It was fairly quiet the first maybe half a mile until we got near the hospitals. And then it was pretty quiet. There weren't a lot of people around where we were, but a car was driving by and we were, harassed. We were yelled at to chant. And I'm just eyes straight. And then we were called names. So, and they backed up, which was terrifying. There wasn't a lot. We were near the hospitals, but there weren't a lot of other people around. And then, crossing 2nd Street, it's getting more crowded and people are yelling. And then once we hit 3rd Street was fires and looting and wedding dresses in the street from the Modern Trousseau. And it was scary, chaotic.
I know that you don't want to say the words that you and your husband were called, but it has to do with being gay. And it's not the first time, and you certainly know that it's not the last time. And you have been in some scary situations in your own life because of who you are and who you love. So once you arrived at Regalo, what did you and your husband Johnny do?
So we had just kind of got there and, noticed the gaping hole in the windows and just stuff strewed everywhere. And my neighbor had pointed out someone that was carrying some of my stuff down the street. It's kind of standing on the corner down there. So I retrieved that and came back to my store. And then John and I just kind of started moving kind of the bigger stuff out of the store window and unloading merchandise on furniture and shoving, kind of making a barricade with furniture. It was chaos. We didn't know what to do. So we were making a barricade with some displays and shelving and
when you say you saw someone with your merchandise and you retrieved it, you literally went up to someone who was looting your store and asked for your inventory back?
Yeah. So, not the smartest move, but my adrenaline was pumping. And I just said, yo, that's my stuff. And he was like, my bad, and handed it back. I mean, I think that's kind of key. I think it was just, I don't know, maybe he, putting a face with what you're doing. And he was just like, didn't argue with me or fight me or anything.
Now, all of this happened, of course, right after the stores were allowed to reopen. Of course, we're still in the midst of COVID-19 and what's going to happen next. But JD, I want to go ahead and read this, what you posted on your Facebook page later in the day after you had family and friends who gathered, helped you clean and board things up. And I'm just gonna read a small part of it. But you said, just a few pictures and a heart full of worry and gratitude. We were lucky in comparison to some of my neighbors whose businesses were 100% destroyed last night. But this is nothing in comparison to the pain people are feeling and their fear. And losing glass doesn't equal losing someone you love or fearing for your life every day because you are Black or gay or Muslim, a woman, or a police officer. It's just glass. That's a big response to something that happened to you so personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of, it's weird. I've been in retail a long time to think that stuff would be really important. And it is. My store is important to me, my choice of what I do. But in the end, it was the same with the COVID and that. That's terrible for business. But you know what? I'm healthy. I have my husband, I have my mother, my sisters and brothers, and people I love are safe. That's important to me. That stuff, that's glass,
You
that can be fixed.
you included though in there an array of people. I mean, who ultimately, what's the message that you are saying? From where you stand to our community.
I don't know. I think that just for me personally, you try to. I don't know what it's like to live as a black man in America, and I can't even imagine. I'm sorry, a black person in America. I know what it's like as a gay man in America, even in 2020. Um, and some days, people, I don't know. Some days I'm like, I can pass for a straight man. Some days, I don't know if the mustache and the look really helps today, but you can't know what it's like to be someone else and to live with that kind of fear and dread every day. Um, I'm just doing, I don't know, I just am doing I'm just being grateful for what I have and trying to be a good person, trying to understand what other people are going through.
And sometimes that's the only thing that we can do sometimes. And so I appreciate you sharing your perspective, because I think that we need to lend platforms to voices from a variety of different walks of life, and certainly yours is important. Thank you.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I mean, I just am not going to judge anyone. I've got friends in every walk of life. I have good friends that are police officers, and I have obviously African American friends, and I got a lot of gay friends. And I don't know. I just feel for everyone hurting right now. You know, it's more important than my windows.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time, JD.